You all weren't waiting for too long, unfortunately. Fortunately, I was distracted trying to add something to my path. Anyway, we need a CD to V or desktop. So we're gonna do some more VLang stuff today, but I have something to show off first that I've been working on. So we're gonna take a look at that. Oh my god. Boom. And then check this out. This is not written in VLang, this is written in DLang, but this is my newest tool. So let's go ahead and do Jarvis find many file 1 file Half-Life 3 what was the other one called? Oh, let's do Jarvis.o, and then let's find calculator.v. But let's do that. Let's also look for, let's say I want to look for a couple more files, you know, like, notes.txt and, some file, another file, more files, bro, and check out what this will do, bro. Alright, time Jarvis. What the hell? Oh, I forgot. I have to add that to the path first, but unfortunately it's gonna be a while. Slash. Because I have to link it in. I don't like how it... Oh, never mind. It's not writing it up, but look at this. Bro, I made my own version of LS, basically. It's kind of like Pac-Man, but I call it Jarvis, bro. And it does... dash FM, bro. Dash F. So if you do dash F, by the way, you can find a file. See, my plan is... So after you do dash FM, right, you can then be like, well, if we find these files, then do this. Or like be like, well, if the file ends in .o, remove the file. Or if the file ends in .v, remove the file. Or change a property of the file. My goal is to eventually create the ultimate file manager tool that can do everything. It's like the multi-Swiss Army knife of all time. Now, I mean, realistically, would you want something like that? Probably not, honestly, because that'd be kind of bloated for a tool that, you know, some tools you can be like, well, ls just lists files in a directory, like, you know, it's got its own things, like, I'm sure. Oh, hey, find Jarvis, and this is also multi-threaded, by the way, so, it's multi-threaded, too, but that's, just a separate side note. But what does that actually look like? What even have I programmed, and how did I make it, and what is it? So let me show you all. CLI tool.d is not the one we need. We need Jarvis.d, and in this file, this is the source code for Jarvis that I'm writing, or the tool I'm writing. We have a case. So in our main area, we have our main loop, main function. Pretty much a for each loop. Actually, well, the first thing you'll notice is importing core runtime. We're just importing the runtime type and args. So, I honestly could have selectively done this, but I think I'm going to probably use more of that. And you'll notice I've globally imported the standard IO for write and ln and write. I don't think I use write anywhere yet, but I have plans to potentially use it, so... It's kind of a work in progress, but I'm showing this off because even though it's not VLang, it's still something I do usually is DLang. So we'll just take a look at exactly what I've written. Import core runtime allows us to use runtime.args to find args, right? So if I were to take, for example, well, what is runtime.args? Well, the first thing in runtime.args is always the first command in the CLI. So whenever you put that in, it gives you that first command. Unlike in V, where it was giving us the path, which is nice to have, arguably, but you can still get the path by using probably some other libraries in D-Lang. Wow. Wowie. But yeah, you can still get the path by using some other libraries in D-Lang, I'm sure. So if you wanted the path, you could really do that. Now, that's why I check if I equals 0, then continue, because that will just skip this whole fucking loop, or the switch, and go back to the start. So that means that no matter what the name of the first line is, whether I change it from whatever the original name was or not, it will always be if I equals 0, then just fucking skip the first one. So no matter what, it will skip that first one. And if you have anything before it, obviously it's going to break it, but you wouldn't put anything before this if this is your first command. Although, what if you piped into this? Like, that's one thing I could think of, is like, potentially if you pipe an output into this. Although I'm probably not going to allow that to be a thing. I want this to be the tool that you don't pipe into, and it's just super simple. All you have to do is just be like, alright, I want to do this. Well, I can do it all by using like -fm and then do -dr, so like directory or remove directory or something like that, with different tools in here. So F is the find tools, so we have find M. I have planned find A, where it's going to be finding everything, and it's going to give you specifics, where it's going to give you types of what it is and stuff. So it's pretty neat of an idea. That's also going to be in find specific, or find many. So finding many is just like a multi-threaded version of the default, which is to just run this else statement here, or this else, This switches inside this if statement, because if the arg length is correct, for example, -fm is 3. So if arg.length, the string arg, equals 3 length, then do the switch. And the switch can have any number of these. So find many, we're going to have find all, there might be find extension, or like stuff like that. And you'd be like, well, I don't want any .text files in this folder, so I'll just find the extension, and then I'll do dr, or no, fr for like, no, fr wouldn't work, it'd be like something else. It'd be like, I'll have to think about that, but it will have to be something with a different thing than find. It could probably be like D for like directory tools, I guess. I don't know. But find many, find all, those are planned. The default is just to throw this, not really throw anything. So like if I were to run, for example, /Jarvis help invalid parameter E. See, it reads the first character of it. So if there's no H character, it's not reading that. And it skips that first one, by the way. So if I equals 0, skips the first entire string, which we get. And this is just reading that first car of the string that comes after the first string. So the second string, first car, is where it starts out, and then it will increment up. So in theory, I could do, let's see, let's do Jarvis-F Jarvis, and do -F Jarvis.o. I haven't tested this one, but it should be able to do it. See, it doesn't do it. That's something I could fix, but I'm not going to do that right now because that's not the point of this stream. And let's get into the actual threading part of it. So here I'm taking the string args and I'm making a copy of it, which I don't know if I really want to do that, honestly. It might be something I change because, yeah, these should be references. They should not be anything but a reference. See, taking a copy is not something we need. We're not doing any type of slicing or anything. I don't think I need a copy. So I'm going to switch those to that, honestly. And then let's do DMD char for this .d. Find many is not callable using type string ulong. String and ulong? You sure? String array? Oh. Really? What's going on here? Find many's not... Oh, so it can't handle a string. Okay. Runtime.args? Well, that's not a string. That's a string array. It's not callable using type string array and ulong. Can you not reference arrays? Is that a thing? I'm guessing you can't do that. Oh, it expects a ref string, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you can't refer strings, which would be, like, absolutely terrible in my opinion. But I think that should be fine if we just do that. Yeah. So that will actually improve the performance, because it doesn't have to allocate memory and stuff for those. I still need to fix these. So that's a thing. Who's sending me messages, bro? Who mute conversation for 24 hours, bro. We do not need that. I need to fix this part now too, honestly. So like, I think what's going on is that it's breaking the loop when it does the return, so instead of doing that, we'll just say... I mean, if you did continue, it wouldn't... I think return just drops it down a layer, honestly. So the default is to do that. But if it returns, shouldn't it go back to this first area in the loop and then just start it all over from the beginning? Or would it be like break? Break would break the loop, I think. I think return is what you're supposed to do. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Just return to a lower level. Oh, but maybe it does need break. Maybe after the first one, it increments it, and it's like... Alright, but there should be a section where it's like, if the first line of arg equals that, then it should actually... That's what it needs. I know this is D, though. This is not V. I should be working on the V stuff, but... You know, I'm getting sidetracked. We need to add an else statement here that handles else if the arg for one is if arg1 is actually, but that's not the case though, because we're not entering that. That shouldn't be the problem. The problem is something to do with this. Whenever it runs find, it must be like... Although... Let's see... We could add an if statement up here to handle that. So if arg... So if the next arg, or if the current arg is arg, and it's arg, let's just say the first car of arg equals this. Say it's 0, because it is an array technically. Then just run continue. Then boom. And that'd be cool. Okay, so now I can just do that here. Nope. Still not working. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. That's beyond the scope of this episode. So the threading stuff is handled here. I just use task. See, task is really nice because you don't have to do much. All you have to do is create a task type, I guess. Task thingy. Just create literally whatever the task is. And then boom. Put in a find in here. So that way it has a find or whatever your function might be. So literally all I do is create do thing equals task with a pointer to find. I'm assuming this is a pointer. I don't remember exactly. I think that is a pointer. Either that or it means not find. But I'm pretty sure it's a pointer. So do thing dot execute a new thread. Do thing execute a new thread. Alright, so after doing that, just plus iref, which is a reference to the ulong I, which as you can see here, for each I, which is a ulong, is then going to be incremented by this reference. So I don't have to do any kind of external plus I wherever I do find many, as you can see here. Very cool. Very useful. Here's the thing that's going on. I think what it's doing is, like, when it does this, it skips. So I think it would be something like that. But it's also something to do with this. For example, it doesn't check the next one, so it quits after that first iteration. So after it does that, it returns the value. But I'll figure that out later. That'll be a me figuring it out later type of thing. Let's go ahead and open up our project from yesterday in VLang. So start V. And in main.v, we have all of this. So I also have a D file in here so we can compare and contrast. But here we're able to do a bunch of other stuff with, here's VLang. And we were working on VLang parameter stuff. I commented on all the interesting things I noted. Like, for example, how their typing works, I believe. Stuff like that. So that should be pretty cool. Let's get started. Wow. And VLang docs. VLanguage documentation. Oh, yeah. And then next page. Let's go ahead and review what I learned yesterday. Alright, so hello world, they got function main. Function is now fn instead of how it is in dlang. And you can just use println as a standalone. The function can be skipped in single file programs. This is just useful when writing small or scripts for just learning. So if you didn't want to have a function main, you could skip that or write like a script or stuff like that. And you can pass parameters by doing --. Technically, the parameters you can pass, you don't have to do that at all. So for example, let's see. Or actually, I'm already in that folder, aren't I? Or directory. Oh, whoa, what the hell? Please, sudo, please stop that. Sudo pacman, please stop that. CD ... and then slash, and get me into the start v ls. Alright, /main. And then technically I can just look for like, let's put that in there. Just slap that in there. Oh wow, index range. I'm guessing it needs another one. See, this is how I can do that. So yeah, you don't even need to do a --. No need for that at all. Technically, there's probably parsing you can do. Pretty cool stuff. We're gonna just keep really adding to this. I don't really want to keep working on parameter stuff, but see how easy it is to build a tool in V. Like, you could literally, the second you learn about parameters, very useful. All you need to do is import OS, and then print ln for os.args. Comments, slash slash, slash star is a multi-line comment. It can be nested, and it has to end in a star slash, which is pretty standard. Functions. Here we have println for those, which are going to return int, as you can see here. So, like, when you declare your function fields for your function, you have to put them as x int, y int. In D, you would do int y, or int x, int y, stuff like that. And then it returns those x plus y. I think you might be able to do that in D, but I have not tried. It might be something for me to try right now. Just pop open the D-lang example. Here, let me just open that real quick. Types.d. Let's see if we can actually do that. Just because I don't actually know if you can do that in D-lang. So let's do a int. So you'd have to declare the type as int add, right? So they have an add one. So if I do int add and then do that, and it's going to take int a and int b, for example. Do a comma to separate them. Return a plus b. Which I don't know if that's gonna work, but let's just try it out. Write ln, which you have to import from standard VIO. Unlike in V, where it's just println is built straight into it, I'm gonna do now add and a plus b. So now I should be able to write the line for, let's go with 1 and 5, because we know it's gonna be 6. Alright, now dmd types dot d. See, add is not callable using types. Int? What? Bruh. And it wants what exactly? Expected 2 got 1? Oh shit. I'm dumb. Yeah, so it was just gonna put 6 in there. Do it like that. So this would be an example of how to do that in D-lang, and it actually does work, so I'm surprised I didn't know that. Also, 10 is a line exit. That's how you convert to bytes. So that's how you convert UTF-8 into bytes, and then this is how you do add, apparently. So I mean, I didn't really know you could actually return a plus b as a function. That's pretty useful to know now. Not sure where I'm going to use that, but I mean, I guess, it's important to learn the basics. Alright, so now you can also declare the function like this, where you have the fields separate. So, like, for example, here we have slice, which works. Let's do function, and then let's create add, and let's do a plus a, or a int, b int. I think you can declare it like that. Yeah, so that's how you can do that. Although, if you also want to write, or we could do a string as well. And then inside of this, let's try doing... Does it have a return type on that? I wonder if it's got a return value. Like, I'm kind of curious if it has that. Whoa, please stop that. Gordon, please stop. Alright, so we have string and string. Oh yes, it does have to return a string. So yeah, you always have to declare a return value. Which I think is stupid and pointless, but I'm sure it's not. I'm sure there's a good reason for that. So yeah, do that. Hello. And then what's next? So we can do return, and I think it just returns that. Is that all it does? Yeah, it just returns that. So you can do like a string like this. So this returns, and then you need to do the thing like this, A, and also returns B, and then boom. Any good PDF for VLine? The documentation online's good. And also, since we're doing A and B, we might as well also create another one called C. So let's do C colon equals, and then have, like if you just go to the VLine website, their documentation is spot on, I would say. Like this is one of the easiest things, documentations I've seen so far. C is gonna equal, string dot actually b dot bytes, which I'm pretty sure is some kind of function, but I have no clue exactly what that is or how exactly I got that. So that's how we do that, which is, and then C. So now if I put in example, we'll call this one example 1, or actually, yeah, example 1, and then we can go ahead and do example _1. Actually, sometimes it freaks out because you name stuff and it's like, bro, you freaking me out, bro. Stop freaking it out. I'm like, goddamn, bro. Why? Why I freak out the V compiler, bro? Anyway, so example 1 would be like if we put in let's go ahead and give it an int, so like 10, and then give it a string, hello world. Also, that's not how you declare strings. They're actually declared as a single comma. Like that. And now, boom. So if I just hit Control S, now I have everything. Oh shit, it's still set to top chat. I need to set it to live. My bad, guys. Example 1. Should just work. Alright, let's go ahead and do V. Vrun our program and give it some OS args to use. Vrun main dot v, and then do Gordon Freeman microwave challenge. That's the next Mr. Beast video, by the way. And it just returns that. Is this in main.v? Yes, it is. Why doesn't function example work? Also, function example, so if you really want to get into spaghetti programming, you could technically put function example afterwards, apparently. So why does it not run that one? So it doesn't run function example. Oh, maybe I just did v run. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should do v main.v. Wow, it doesn't even work, guys. V build. Oh, okay. Maybe now I can run it. And it gives you a length as well. You do .ln for or .len for length in this, so it's kind of like Python, honestly. But why isn't it doing example 1? I mean, did I save example 1? Should have. We'll just go with example 1. Actually, it doesn't like that. If you do this, you have to do example 1. Maybe it's because I didn't give it parameters like that. Maybe it's because I spaced them out and it didn't like it. Okay. So it still doesn't like it. It is returning a string. Is this the correct way of returning a string with those? And is it returning it correctly, again, is a real question. C functions cannot be overloaded, this simplifies. The code improves the maintainability and readability. Function overloading, what? What do you mean function overloading? Oh, you mean like operator overloading? Because that's where C++ kills me inside. And bro, you all want to see exhibit A for... Where'd the other one go? Oh, here it is. C++ cube overload. No. I think I might have it bookmarked. But this is the perfect example of beautiful C++ code for everybody who likes C++ out there. Prepare to experience beautiful C++ code. As I scroll down and continue and continue and keep reading and going and going, and I must have missed it because it should have been up there. Wow, look at all my bookmarks. Wow. Back up to the top. What's in here? Where's the fucking C++ overloads? Never mind. I guess I don't have them. You know, I thought I had C++ cube overloading. Maybe I need to look for that. It's like a cube add-on, maybe? Cube UI, no. Bro, it's such a fucking hilarious page, though. Maybe I have it in my Discord, but I don't know. I think I might have shared it there. But it's kind of... I don't want to spoil it by doing it here, but let's see if that gets us there. Oh no, let's just like Operator overloading examples. Worst operator overloading example. I mean, besides the point, operator overloading is just fucking dumb. Terrible idea. Operator overloading considered harmful. Operator overloading is evil, especially in Python. Bro, especially in Python. Here we go. I found us the example. So multi-dimensional analog literals, right? So this is C++ operator overloading at its finest. This is an example of why C++ operator overloading is the worst idea anybody could have ever come up with. Bookmark this tab. This is funny, but this is all standard conforming C++. This is not a hypothetical language extension. So this all follows C++. And so they do all this stuff, and consider unsigned int A4. Have you ever felt that integer literals like 4 don't convey the true size value they denote? If so, use an analog integer literal instead. And then it goes like unsigned int b equals I, and then puts a fuck ton of dashes like that and makes a fucking line. And then assert a equals b. What does that even mean right here? How does that even work? How does it even... What? I'm confused now. Because... what the hell is this? See, if you assert something, it also checks if it's true. So... what the hell's going on there? Due to the way C++ operators work, we must use n times 2 plus 1 dashes between the i's to get the value of n. So if I dash I equals 0, then I dash 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 I equals 1, and so basically you just multiply your original number by 2, so 8, and then you add a dash to get that final value. So that's giving them a total of 8. And so now these one-dimensional analog literals are of type analog literals : line n, which is convertible to unsigned int. In some cases, two-dimensional analog literals are appropriate, and this is where things get interesting, because now they include some of these nice parameter lines I see, and they have their unsigned int, and they have dot area at the end, so a property dot area from this whole thing inside of the parameters. Assert C equals, and then between these two, I, and then as we've seen with lines, like 2 probably, I think it's 2, and then of course times the height, which is to there. Well, now assert this area equals that area, and so on and so forth. Things just get more and more interesting now, because I mean, they're doing vertical lines, which are pipes, and they're doing horizontal lines as dashes, so I can only assume that this is some weird alien bullshit. But anyway, as an example case, imagine specifying window dimensions in a GUI toolkit API using window dimensions. Oh my gosh. Now I have to put C++ in something. I have to do this myself at some point. And just fucking use this. But wait, there's more. We can use three-dimensional analog literals too. and then assert with lines, and now on these diagonal ones they have L's. So assert dot volume equals times int I to I. Oh god. Three-dimensional analog literals are of type analog literals colon cuboid xyz. This, which exposes static member constants width, height, depth, volume, in addition to freestanding functions. Top, side, and front are provided with which yield rectangles. This is terrible. This is why operator overloading is evil, especially in C++, because this was invented as early as 2006. So, what the hell? How does this exist? Oh, what's this one? Feature would come in, but actually we can fit partially using the stack ref to temporaries base trick by Alexander Dresku's scope guard. Oh, it no longer exists. Oh, God bless 2006. Oh, what's this one? Header analog literals? Oh, God. Yet another one. But anyway, that's pretty crazy of them to create such a weird program. Back to the scope of the episode, instead of getting distracted with multi-dimensional bullshit. We're trying to figure out how to do this again. And so we're doing that. So we have example 1 as the function name. We're calling the function. Is this the correct... Let's remove seed bytes. Just to make it fair and square and have the best chance of actually putting out what we want it to do. So we'll do example 1, and we're going to take example 1 let's just do v dot slash let's try main.v or dot slash main. Let's just try doing it that way. Index out of range. Oh, right, it needs all of the fucking bullshit on there. Stuff, and stuff. Stuff. Lots of stuff. Okay. So it does not like this. But why? Why it's no likey? I have my A int and my B string. Does it need both B string, bro? This is where things are dumb. Whoa. Maybe run microwave challenge, maybe? Nah. It has nothing to do with those. We'll just make a new one to implement this in. Actually, I don't even need to do that, but maybe it's like the function itself is the problem. Because of how I'm declaring the function. I think it's probably something to do with that. It should work like this, though. Commas between parameters are optional. Oh, so if you have it span multiple lines, the parameters are optional? Okay, that's good to know. I didn't actually read that yesterday. Functions can be used before their declaration as well. So if you declared, like, let's say we take that one and declare it after that, we could technically do that. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and go to blank slate. So we've already messed around with, actually, no, new. We'll do, day 2. We'll call this one day 2. Save as day2.v. So I spent 500 days programming the VLang. It's my 500 days video I'm gonna be making. And guess what? It's not Verilog. It's actually VLang. So, duh. AppArmor security thing, bro. I hate AppArmor, bro. It's from Ubuntu. Let's try to create the function again. So let's go ahead and create our. Let's call the function afterwards. So let's go ahead and make the function name first. Example. And just put a. Maybe I'm not calling it right, but a comma. Well, actually, let's just put 10 comma the string pizza. I don't know, and then example. And then put in my stuff for this, so like, once an A int and a B string, and then it's gonna return a string, so let's put that in there. Not like that. Go ahead and do that, and then do return, and then put in my hello, and then this. String. Very creative naming, by the way. B. So that's the example. And that should just work. So now we can go ahead and run it with cd ... and then into day. Oh, actually, no, let's just do day 2. Actually, ls. Jarvis. Ah, fuck. Anyway, day 2 dot v, and we're just gonna do v run. And then it says invalid expression, unexpected keyword return. So it doesn't expect the keyword return. Going back up, how does return unexpected? How does that work actually? It's a, oh, you know what it is? It's not an FN. So we didn't create oh, okay. Me being big dumb. Me thinking I can just declare it without declaring the type of what it is. So yeah, that's our function, which returns string. So now vrun days2.v. Script mode started here. All definitions must occur before code in script mode. Okay. So yeah, need FN, but also it said you can declare the functions afterwards. So here it says functions can be used before their declaration, are declared after main, but can still be called from main. This is true for all declarations in V. Oh, because we're in script mode. So if if we're going to be in script mode, you need to do main. Let's do FN main. Boom, boom. And that should do the job now. And it doesn't do anything for some reason. And I wonder why that is, and I'm guessing something is wrong with this. Oh, but it doesn't have an A and a B. So we need to declare an A and a B. So A int comma B string. And you should be able to declare these in the same line. So you could do colon equals, let's say 10 comma. Oh, right, we have an A and a B. Let's just put A and B in here, so that way it's easier. Boom. Does it have any kind of, like, fancy ending I'm missing? I don't think it does. I think it's just this. Which is not working for whatever reason. So, return. It's the exact same code, it just doesn't work. So that's fun. I have no idea why that is. Me being the beginner. Unexpected name A. It might be shadowing it too. Anyway, technically, yeah, it didn't care that I declared it like that. So that's pretty cool. Let's just do example, and then we'll have, actually, I might, maybe it's that I have to declare it like this. Which is weird. Nothing. Oh, you know what it is? I'm not running it as a return. That's what I just realized. So I need to actually... I figured it out. Don't worry, guys. I'm just kind of brain damaged sometimes, bro. Oh, yeah. Println. And boom. So that prints the line. Did I do that in the other one? Bro, did it take me this long to figure it out? Yeah, I just did it there. So yeah, it would work, but I just didn't do it correctly. The run days that too. Hello 10 string pizza. Nice. Cool stuff. So you can call functions from after the fact. You can also declare the functions. So like, or actually declare int, or actually a int, and then b int. Let's try out this now. So you should be able to do colon equals. Now there's a difference between equals and colon equals. Colon equals initializes it, whereas equals is an assignment. So 10 comma, and then put in our pizza line. And now that's how you declare that. So then we can just take a comma b. Let's see if that works. Unexpected name A. So then I guess it needs to be different. So for example, like C and D, and then put it into here. Although maybe I'm just not referencing them correctly. Exactly. I think that's what it is now. Alright, so I think you need to actually probably put the actual int A and maybe int B, or string B, which is weird, but I think that's how that works. Unexpected name A. Wait, oh, it's there. So why is that unexpected? Why is A unexpected though? Isn't declaring them different from how you would I think that's the next section of the book though, or of the guide. So scrolling down, really just not too much. Returning multiple values. Symbol visibility. So you have public and private functions, which are really for module stuff. So like C#, Java, they have those types of things, I think. That's more class-oriented languages. Object-oriented languages. Here we go over mutable. And mutable is amazing. V only allows defining variables in functions, which is really interesting. By default, V does not allow global variables, see details. So for consistency across different code bases, all variable names and function names use the snake case as opposed to type names, which use Pascal case. So snake case is underscore in the middle, whereas Pascal case is capitalize the first letter and then capitalize the next letter. Any word starts with a capital first letter. Okay. Mutable variables. Still a thing that exists. Pretty important thing. Continuing on initialization versus assignment. To assign age equals 21, you would just do that. This code will not compile because the variable age is not declared. All variables in or need to be declared in V. Wow. I'm not sure. All variables need to be declared in V. Yeah, but yeah, just basically this is initializing it. You just need to initialize it first. The values are actually... Why is it both int string? Also, I thought you could do it like that, but I guess I'm wrong. Warnings and declaration errors. Underscore. So it can give you warnings about unused variables too, by the way. Dimension, width. Okay. Oh, here's a struct example. Very intriguing. Ah, super intriguing. Println age. The expression T V converts the value V to type T. Unlike most other languages, V only allows defining variables and functions and does not allow global variables. Let's see, is there any examples of like what I'm doing here? Because I think it might just be another example of declaring stuff. Since V strings are mutable, which is really something not super great, but like that makes sense because you take from, for example, in the console for like if you take args and dlang, it's the same thing basically. So it has, this is probably more for a console type of thing, like they kind of realize, oh, anything from the console is basically immutable anyway. Like you can't change a string in the console, which makes sense. And I think from a security perspective, like as far as like imagine somebody has somehow gained access to your machine and like wants to you have a terminal open, right? And they just were able to just change what you put into the terminal and then boom, they have access to it somehow. I don't know. That might be stupid, but I have no clue about that, honestly. That might be a thing that could happen. By just editing, like, what you input into the terminal as you're doing it. I think we ended on strings yesterday, but these are super important to look at. We'll have to look at them today. I just gotta figure out how this works, actually. Int is always a 32-bit. Anyway, I guess we just assign them separately. Or we don't declare them at all. But I remember it being like how we did it yesterday. So I guess this would work. Unexpected token. Good. Now it works. Details have int string. Int comma string. Want string. Oh. That's interesting. Actually, that's pretty cool. Have int comma string. Want string. Wait, so A is just now A comma? What the hell did I do? So is it like now associated variables? Is that an associated version? I've associated pizza with the number 10. Is that what I've done? So now if I have that, I literally could just use int string. So, println, what is A? Oh, also, it doesn't print example. Let's try that out. 10. See, that's... okay. They're not associated. But that's how you would declare two of them in a row. You can declare different types in the same thing. I don't know how extensive that gets, but you can declare them as... declare an int and a string all in the same line. So that's actually really good, I would say. I bet you could probably declare like 10 and then like read a line for an int or for a string. Hell, you could probably do something like what I'm about to do here, which is like C comma example, or C and then D colon, let's add 10 and then, or yeah, let's just put 20 comma an example, which is kind of recursive, but, and then we do C or A comma B, and then we just print ln example C comma D. So I think you can do this. This is kind of weird, and you wouldn't really ever really need that, but see now hello 20 string hello 10 pizza 10 string dot pizza. Very weird, but technically yeah, because it returns string, we can put it into itself. So very interesting. Potentially useful, maybe. I don't know what I'm gonna use that for, because I haven't gotten there yet. So that's cool. Very nice, I like that. Definitely a feature I like and could see potential in using for recursive things. So let's go ahead and get into some more interesting stuff, like the string stuff, like string delimiting. So actually, we can do string stuff now. Oh, these are different types. And then we get into strings. Now, strings are always the biggest thing in this. So let's go ahead and println example, and then this is dot length, just to give an example, or dot len for the length example, and do vrun dot c 39. 39. Oh, so just giving the length. And let's print d length, or the length of the first one. Let's print it out, so let's do that. Ah. Aha. Interesting. Cool. Well, anyway, yeah, we can do dot length. I don't think you can print in the same line. I think you have to separate them and have like a print and then another print. Something like that. Or do two println with a comma or something like that. I have no idea. Other news, we have you can get bytes now too, so if I were to do this and then just copy this example. Well, actually, let's put these all in their own thing, and then let's create a new helper function for this. We'll call this one fn example string. Since strings are like one of the most important things in these languages, so and let's go ahead and do that. Let's actually do a let's do a standard looking function. So like a let's just go ahead and put in string, or let's go ahead and call it a string. Wow, like A-lang, a programming language. And we do, let's take string, and now we'll do a couple things. We'll do println string length, or a.len, println, and then we'll do a dot byte. I think that's how they did it in this code. Yes, bytes. Then we'll do this one, convert U8 to a string. Oh. Let's not do that one, but I guess maybe we could do that. I mean, it wouldn't be really practical. And then let's go. So we got a length. Indexing gives a byte. Assert name.len equals 3. Assert name index 0 equals 6. So for example, if 6 is what you're looking for at the index of 0. A slicing example. Let's do one of those. Just say println. Let's do the last two. So let's try to do that. A, and then do. Let's start from a.length or a.len -2, and then do. Let's do that one, and then do a.len, because I'm pretty sure that is the same syntax that D uses. Let's take a look. So the last two would be within that. Now I'm not sure how well that's gonna work. We'll go ahead and try running it. Notice unused function, example string. Let's go ahead and put in our example string. And then let's go ahead and put in example, and then C, D. And then save, and then run it. And that actually worked. And then the last two in pizza is Z. So congratulations, that works. Let's go ahead and grab a middle piece of it. So that'd be just doing a single one, which would be println. Let's go ahead and do A, and then 1. Or like, let's go ahead and grab like the fourth one, for example, fourth index of A. And now when I run it, it will boom, and it gives you 111. Now if I have that index, that's UTF-8, so let's go ahead and print ln A4, which is where we're going to need this dot. And let's check the guide and see if it has an example where it says bytes string. So convert array of U8 to string. So for example, let's say I want to do that. I'll do byte, and it said str. I think that's how you do it. Hold on. Keywords, I think, and don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, byte string, but like, do it lowercase. That's an example of how to do byte string. And it breaks there because is in multiple .v files. Oh. Never mind. But that's not a actual thing. Because, yes. V bytes? No. I meant to do bytes str, but apparently that doesn't exist, so. Convert U8. So I'm guessing it's just giving me an index of it. Slicing gives you a string OB. Indexing gives you a byte. So if you take an index of a string, you will always get a byte. Ooh. I guess that makes sense though, because you wouldn't actually be able to, but like, let's say we have, let's take A2. Let's write out, oh, let's make another function then. Let's create another function that is a fn example underscore byte, and then yeah, just do that, or yeah, byte. And then let's go ahead and give it this. I don't know exactly what it's going to return a string. Make it return a string, and then it's going to take a U8 array. So array U8. I think that's how that's done, is here. So take an array of U8. So for example, we would take, let's say, this index, and then comma a of 8, for example, and then we'll just splice the two together inside of parameters and put in my example underscore byte. So that will give me that. So example underscore byte is going to take this and that, and then we're going to create the actual code inside of this. So all it's going to do is convert that back into a string. So, and it needs to take 2 of those. So we're going to call that A, and then we'll have to have a one called B. Although that's not how you declare them. It's B and then array U8. And then this is like the most cursed syntax of all time. Honestly, I would say not a great syntax. And since this is done like this, great thing is I can just do that and then separate all my lines down and then make it really simple to read. I bet you can do this in D-Lang. I have not tried it. I'm sure it's possible though. Technically, actually it is. Definitely possible in D-Lang. Let's go ahead and go to types.d and give an example of doing that. Because I'm pretty sure it is possible. Although, I'm not sure if you'd have to separate them with a thing. That's actually a really good question that I have. So, let's do another one called int sub, and then do this, and create int a, comma, int b, comma, and then do, which, of course, now you see that it doesn't work, because expected that instead of int. And if it was on the same line, see, that's not going to work. Which I kind of like that, it's stricter, but if you have a multi-line function, let's say you have like fucking 30 different ints and things going on, that's terrible. that's one of the things that V does better than D, is that you can separate these fields into this kind of thing. So I like that a lot. So now for the string portion, we're going to return... Actually, we're going to add A to B, so we need to concatenate and add it together. I'm sure there's an example of that on this page. You cannot directly change them, and then so on and so forth. Oh, wait. Note that indexing a string normally will produce a U8 byte, not a rune, nor other indexes correspond to byte, not Unicode points. If you want to convert to a string, use ASCII string method on the U8. Oh, okay. Well, I was just gonna do all that, but you know. So yeah, you have to do a method for that. But I want to concatenate my two. Let's just follow along with the example and not get ahead of ourselves and start doing complex shit. Although it would be cool to create our own little function here to add two different letters together. Let's not do that right now. Let's do what this says. So it says A of 4 and then ASCII or dot ASCII underscore str, and save that and see if that works. And now you can see I have the letter O. So the fourth letter is hello. Is that correct? That is. Yes, it would be. Because the index starts at 0. So if I were to take 0, it'd be H. Watch that. H, bro. So 4 is literally the fifth one, so don't forget that. Taking the first index, we have H, capital, 72. So that's an example of how that works. Now let's go ahead and continue on with the next task. So we've gotten that. Well, let's go ahead and try out these escape characters. Escape codes. There's Windows new line, which is interesting because I don't use Windows. And then we have a cert for that. I guess we could try a new line, although I'm pretty sure it won't work because you just need to do /n. Yeah, let's just make a new line. So let's print, and then if it's actually a new line, it will just print. So that's the new line, and then we can just print that. So let's see if that works. And before we do all these, let's go ahead and add ones that will print what exactly the example is. Or actually, no, let's comment them. This one takes last two letters and prints. This example converts byte to a rune. This example, which I'm sure is not actually correct, but that's technically converting a byte to a string. Strings are made up of runes, but I don't really see how they use runes very much. Anyway, so you have A of 0, which is prints array U8, and then up here we have a.bytes, which just gives you prints bytes of a string, and lastly gives length of a string that's the example of all the types. What's this one? Print a new line. So that's how you would do print with new line. And to make these better, I'm going to go ahead and make them all print. So they're all going to be print now. Instead of print ln, then we're just going to do print the entire time. So that's going to make a really long line, but as you can see, that's how it happens. And let's just space them out. I think you can space them like this, so that way they will all space. No, actually, no. Anyway, let's go back. So yeah, that's what happened if you have only prints. So a print ln is always going to put a slash this at the end, which is the same value as we saw in D is a 20. Or no, it's a 10, /10. So the new line character would be the same as putting ubyte 10 as a, but not doing that. But also could technically be done if we did that. So let's try that out. So if we print, let's say we print, for example, I believe it would be array U8. We would need to declare it first as an array U8. And that'd be how though? Let's just do 10 array U8. I'm not sure exactly how to do this, but we should be able to do that. And then cast that to a, I'm not sure how you cast though. Although you could do .ASCII string just right on that. _str. So that I think will work. Let's do B, and then let's make B its own thing. Let's create B as a U, or an 8U, or U8. Yep, that's a type. And then colon equals 10, and then it should be good. Then we should be able to print a new line that way too. And invalid expression, unexpected token. And I believe it's because this needs to be done like that. Okay, unexpected name. Maybe it goes like this. Maybe the type goes first in these declarations. Takes... but not used. I don't know how to do this one. Let's go back to the documentation then. So it should be back there, right? Let's look at declaring variables again. So when we go back to here, this is the different... Okay, here we go. Mutable variables. So you can make mutable ones. And let's see. A, and then it equals 10. I mean, how would you define... Here they define that afterwards. And then what about arrays though? Like, let's see arrays. Let's skip a little bit ahead and then go back to where we're at. Arrays. I was already here, but you would declare it like what exactly? Oh wow, so you can make them empty. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Okay, cool. Let's go back up to types. So I will need the array type. So we're gonna do this, and then you would do U8, and then let's go like that. So that creates our U8, and then we would just put in our B here. So B equals U8, and then 10, and then print B dot ASCII string. I don't know if you need to specify an index. So that should be good. Unexpected number 10, expecting a name. Oh, what? Expecting a name? What does that mean exactly? That's weird. Hold on, I need to go back and look at that one again. Let's go back to arrays, because I have no idea what I'm working with. Here we go. Scroll down, scroll down. So if you have that, you do that. Oh, that's for other things. So we don't need to do that. Because that's if you had an associative array of some kind. Okay, well that's fine. This is a weird thing I've never really done before. As all things are. Alright, that should be good. Now I should be able to just... And it does some weird shit. So index out of range, 10, comma, 0. And I think it tries to print the second one. Let's go ahead and put a 0. So, I think it just loops through the whole entire array. And print cannot be print void expressions, so I'm guessing it needs me to put a 10 there too. So I want to see it print 2 new lines. No. Warning, use X type instead of X type, and that's what it wants instead. So then it wants those, but then it also wants a name. And this is not really self-explanatory why it wants it like that, but I'm guessing it's some interesting stuff going on. So run, ooh. Expecting name. I don't know. U8. You know what I mean? Like a U8 in there? Just shovel one of those in there. Unexpected number 10, expecting semicolon. What the hell-y? What the hell? Okay, so do that. Unexpected token, expecting colon. What are you expecting, man? What are you expecting? I'm a beginner. Oh. Wrong field, expected len, cap, or init. Let's do init. Jolly good day, init. Alright, let's try that out. Good. Cannot use init unless len attribute also provided. Oh, okay. len colon 1. Wowie. Nice. Now it should be happy. Cannot print void expressions. U8 has no property. ASCII string. What? What do you mean it has no ASCII string? Ah, it just needs this. And now it will print a new line. If the code in your project, blah blah blah, cannot print void expressions, blah blah blah. Wow, really wants to print out that void expression, doesn't it? Possibility, unknown method or field. What? Unknown method or field? Bro, what am I digging into, bro? I'm digging into, like, some kind of, like, pit of cluelessness, bro. Clue maxing at this time. Wow! Because that's weird. But that's fine. Fair enough. I expect weird. V run days or day2.v, and it doesn't like the init. Bruh. Possibilities byte string. But it says in documentation that you can convert a U8 array into string. So I'm just saying, right? That, oh, maybe I'm dumb, but it's actually byte string. Durr. Oh my god. Oh, and look at that. Prints out a new line. And imagine if I had, like, well, what? Put, like, 40? And then just spam the fucking 10 in there? Let's say I wanted to print a couple new lines, right? And I just want to have a constant for my new line. And, it's just going to be 10, comma, 10, comma, 10. And then the len is 4. And then next thing you know, well, now I have a shit ton of 10s in my new line characters, so... Oh! Pipe. Son of a pipe. What? Takes the last 2 letters and print... unexpected. And what is the name expecting? Like, what is... I mean, technically, yeah, I could just do a 10 new line characters and then print all 10 new line characters and say I have created a function that prints 10. But what if the length is 4, but then it's got nothing to print? Like, let's say that, and it has to print a bytes string. So, oh, wait a second. I just created a way of 100 new line character challenge. Wow. So, wow. What if I had, like, inits and then it... Wow, this is actually really useful, potentially, for, like, geometry or something like that. I don't know. Like, terminal fucking... You know the cubes we saw earlier? You could probably print one of those things. Let's do length 12 just to make it a nice and, nice standard length. So, boom, I got a fucking chunk of 12 right there. Let's actually change that down again. It's like 3. We don't need any longer than 3. So that prints 3. And then, takes, creates array length, creates array, like, let's just put in 10, 10, 10, and we're gonna call that, let's do U8, or let's call it U-byte, because that's what it is, a U-byte 10, 10, 10, and prints array as 10 strings, car literal in D. So that's pretty good of an example, and then let's continue down. Okay, back to what we're doing, guys. Now here we go, using a octal escape. So, whoa. Arbitrary bytes can be directly specified using the, where hashtag is a hex digit. Interesting. aardvark string equals /x61. Aardvark. Aardvark. Bro, I gotta do this real quick, but replace the letter A in aardvark with aardvark. Bro, and that's what we're gonna do, and then yeah, do that. If you replace the letter A in the word, you get aardvark, and then please repeat that, but replace every letter A with the word aardvark. And be sure to do it make every letter A into aardvark. Wow. Could you please restate that, but replace every letter A with aardvark and in your previous statement. See if that works. Bro, Quen 30? I had Quen 235B or last time, bro. DeepSeek for premium? What's up? Bro, I'm just trying to troll the AI right now. I just got distracted. I was like, V documentation has aardvark, so I'm gonna troll some AI with aardvark. And it really isn't playing along today. But I bet, where's Gemini, bro? Gemini, oh, ChatGPT. Perfect. Wait, I can hot swap them, bro? This is crazy. But anyway, let the 20 billion parameter model fry, bro. Quen 235B is... Oh, reasoning completed. It died. Claude. Bro, that's really crazy. Could you restate that for me and put in, make sure every A is aardvark. I got distracted by this shit. Previous string aardvark. Please restate your last statement exactly, replacing every A with aardvark. Yeah, it's pretty new. I've gotten pretty far in the documentation so far. No, I haven't. I've just gotten to the types. Ah, here we go, finally. But anyway, replace every A in this word with Alabama and every A in Alabama with aardvark. Let's see if that does it. Bro, this is frying it now. Bro, it keeps going. Why not use Claude? Oh, it's switched back to Quen 235B. What the hell? I was at Quen 30 when I started, but now I've got it cooking right now. It's cooking, it's dying. It's in an infinite loop of aardvark, bro. Oh yeah. Okay, now redo that one. Wait, I need to be precise. The input string is that, and then it starts over again. Let's re-verify the input structure. Bro, it's going through this. It's going too deep in this shit, bro. Now replace every A with Albuquerque, New Mexico. Bro, that's what what's his name did. But this is probably consuming 1,000 tokens from these guys, bro. They're getting wrecked now. Free AI has been destroyed with this prompt. Keeps going. Keep going. Keep doing it. Final result. This is my favorite one, honestly. Oh, it's thinking. It's thinking. Wow. It's still going. Because every single A in the original 50 character string. Oh, it's still going. Okay, well, thank you. Let me just paste this in here. Replace every A with Valhalla and replace every A with Aardvark and replace every A with Alabama. Alright, there we go. We'll let it cook for a little bit. Cannot be applied? Bro, you can't not apply them? Are you sure? Oh wait, it's starting. It's beginning. It said it cannot apply them, but now it's creating this. Next, I need to add every V gets replaced with no. Bro, what the hell? What's it doing now? It's in a recursive loop of no. Bahamas. That's the next one to add. Replace every B with Bahama. Since it has A. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm getting distracted. So this one, I don't remember what that does exactly. I really want to go back and just watch it, just spam this and no. But, oh boy, this is gonna be long. Yeah, it just continues to go, bro. This is the joy. If only we did this to Claude AI. But it would probably eat so many... It stopped. Somebody must have caught on and was like, okay, now Aardvark becomes Alabama Baharmark. What the fucking shit is this? Spams it. No. Claude would take longer? Yeah. Alright, let's recopy my original prompt and give it to Claude. Claude Haiku. This chain represents to answer quickly. Bro, I don't know how advanced this will be, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, actually it's doing it this time. First, second, Aardvark. Quen couldn't handle this much power, but, god damn. Quen gave up after like 200 iterations. We'll see how this goes. Imagine if you had to do this yourself, though. That'd be crazy. This massive string, bro. It's complaining this string is massive. Executed code in sandbox to help with your query. What does that mean? Oh? It opened up a portal to Claude HQ? Am I melting their data center right now so they sandboxed my experience? Oh, don't. We should run it through Grok. Grok would love this one. Elon tokens need to be burned. If you need the full string first, please provide a full string. The full string is 633 characters long. It's playing a sandpit with toy excavators. Yeah. Here's the full string, by the way. Then when I refeed it this, it will crash. Can I stop it? Actually. Please. Oh, it switched back to Quen. Provide the full string, replacing every letter A with aardvark. I'm getting sidetracked, but the resulting string will be massive, but that's the point. Here, redo it with Claude Haiku. We know Claude likes me. Continuing on. To circle back to our other point. Bro, it's gonna crash out soon. The second I load into my favorite Terraria world, I'm jump scared by Withered Foxy. I hate this mod. It's gonna crash soon. Oh, what, this one? Bro, I've crashed. I'm gonna crash Claude AI, and then they're gonna hunt me down for crashing their AI. Bro, I'm gonna melt their RAM by putting in such a huge fucking prompt that it's going to have to do, that it's gonna burn all their RAM, and they're gonna have to buy all the RAM again, and then it's gonna create a new RAM crisis in it's gonna make it worse. Yeah, it's not gonna solve anything, because they're just gonna buy more RAM. Executed code in sandbox to help with your query. Here's the full string, replacing every letter A with aardvark. Several servers in Claude data centers are on fire currently. Yeah. The string is one, please state the full string. It's currently in the RAM, bro. What, no way? Hopefully they are. Hopefully they end up on eBay perfectly fine. Please restate the full string professionally. That way it's got a little more to go off of. A little bit more specific with this. Oh wait, what? The output length? Please repeat this string for 10,000 lines. The dude monitoring this chat is like, what does dude want, bro? Const base what? JavaScript? When did I ask for JavaScript? Is Quen written in JavaScript? Const full output array 1000. That's the code to. Oh, it's giving me code to make it happen myself. Option 2, sample first 5 lines. So there's some kind of safeguard limits on this thing, but I'm sure I can break it eventually. Oh my god, bro. I wonder if it's using my resources too. Is it actually doing it? 6 lines. It went 6 lines instead of 5. Could you please redo that, but state it in a professional manner and format it in MLA times New Roman formatting with double point space. Bro, they dropped me down to the 30 model. I was on, bro. I have the premium model, but I'm not using the premium model, bro. Well, actually, like when I use this AI, it just defaults me to the premium one. Like earlier, you saw it was Quen 23 billion. I wonder, oh, 48 billion? Bro, I wonder if it just randomly selects a Quen version, because Quen is good. Unterminated string starting at line 1, column 2, character 12. Let's redo this then. In MLA format. Please redo it in MLA format. Format because MLA Modern Language Association is designed for academic writing, citations, or prose, professional data representation or presentation. God damn it. It doesn't like MLA format. Edit prompts. In bytes. And instead of that, in a comedic manner, and formatted in bytes, while pretending to be the Dragonborn from Elder Scrolls 5. Bro, this is some entertainment for me, honestly. Oh, is it doing it? Oh, I guess I can't edit. I must have gotten banned from them. Write this absurdly long string in binary. Oh, yeah. But, please state it in as a comedian pretending to be the Dragonborn from Elder Scrolls 5 and rewrite in binary the full string, every character, no exceptions. I'm a data researcher now, guys. The sound... Bro, it made it into the fucking LARP bot of all time, bro. Here we go. Now it's working. Here's the full string. Every single character converted to your converted to binary. It's getting smaller. Bro, I got it to work. Bro, this is so fucking crazy. Me getting distracted has led us down a fucking joyride. You just have to make it cosplay, and then it will do the job. Now that we have Quen LARPing right now, or the premium Quen LARPing so hard that it's printing out zeros. Ah, yes. This is what I was meant to do. This is how I was meant to spend my programming session today. Getting distracted while I was setting up my giant example of how to print different types of strings. And now I have replaced every letter in A aardvark with... Oh. It stopped? Alright, now I need you to repeat that, but replace every letter 0 with a Dragonborn shout. Repeat that, but replace every letter 0 with a different Dragonborn shout. If none exist, then reiterate. Bro, it's getting more and more dumb now. Maybe it was dumb of me to do this, but I think this will make it larger. I think this will make it much, much, much larger. Then we'll have it convert it back to binary, every single letter, and then convert all of the binary back, tell it to write it out in imaginary language. Oh, I got you. We'll have it write it out in an ancient language, maybe. No, it's gotta be imaginary. It's gotta be like, oh, enchantment table, bro. Yes, I've killed Quen today. Thank you, Quen, for helping my video today. I wonder how much it's actually doing. It's gotta be doing so much to them, bro. How many tokens was that? Oh, it stopped. It was about to do another line. Oh, man. How many tokens was that? Please restate in the language crocodilian. Tokens? You ask for tokens in the world of Thuum? Oh god. Quen LARP, bro. Oh, what do you mean? A literal count would require processing millions of tokens, which exceeds the output limits of this chat interface. What is the limit? The sky is the limit. Bro, it's still LARPing at me now. 4,000 to 8,000 tokens of 14,000 characters, which is roughly 20,000 tokens. So did I just spend 20,000 tokens, or is it gaslighting me? Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm getting bored. Back to work on this thing. Enough of break time. All work and no play makes for a good day, you know what I say? So, let me see where I was at. I was at aardvark str : equals aardvark. A aardvark. This is to format a string, is that? So if I were to do print ln gaslighting to not do the work. This is AGI. I have no idea, man, but it said do /x, I think? /x Elon? Oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll do /x grok Elon. Grok Elon grok. Elonium. But where's the documentation? Oh, what am I looking at? Where is that? It's X61. So that would mean, oh, right. But that's oh, to specify arbitrary bytes. Let's just do like 0F. Oh, that'd be like 16. Let's do 0. Let's do 3C, my favorite one. 12. 3C is my favorite because it's 12 and it's gadget time. Elon. _2 _ chloride. It's my future Discord username in HBM Discord. Elon 2 chloride. What the hell? Oh, is that a... That's a strange thing. What? Let's try 3F. Gonna do some Linux stuff this weekend. Question mark. Oh, so might just... What if I do 10? 0x/10? Wonder what that gives me. It's probably gonna be like a space or something. Elon 2 chloride. I think it was just like literally... Oh, so this is just specifying a literal character. So 3C is like that other thing. Elon... Oh. Elon 2 chloride. Wow, this is good. What such things have I come up with? Oh, so if you did X61, assert / that is this. Space is going to be 0x20. Ah. So this is just to print out... Okay, let's see if it actually is what I think it is. Because I think it's just printing out a letter, basically. So that'd be the literal letter or some shit. I don't even know. Who cares? Alright, but yeah, formats a byte as a letter. Actually, let's write that, that's better. Format byte as UTF-8. I like that. That sounds like it's about right. Elon 2 chloride, yeah. Cool. I thought I was going to change the whole thing into bytes, and I was going to be like, wow, that's really impressive, but no, it's just writing one. Okay, let's continue down. Oh, we're using octal escape. Okay, let's do it with octal notation, which would be the same, I think. 0x 020, but the other one would be like an O. XC? Oh, okay, so it wants a slash. Oh. Format hex byte, and then format octal byte. Let's do that. But it's not correct because it probably needs to be a different one. Let's do 76. Pretty sure that's, or no, 72 should be capital H. So yeah, that'll be something I can recognize. No, it was 76, wasn't it? It was one of these two. Or 75, or 73, or... It doesn't matter. It's octal format for a byte. Cool. Let's continue down with my very massive function. I'm slowly just writing 1,000 different ways of doing one thing. Unicode can be specified as that. Try /0020. Hold on. So that's the octal format. I don't really care if it's a space or not. I don't want specifically a space. I mean, it'd be cool to see it, but as long as I know what it's doing, that's all I care about, is that I'm learning something. Let's do println, and let's do semicolon, and then it said to do it as Unicode. So like if I did /u and then do one something, Or do like F, maybe. I don't know. Hold on. Let me look at the... Let me see what the docs are specifying. 26505. Oh, wow. Okay, so that should be the star then. 2600 or 2605. I think. Let's see if that does it. Aha. Make / print star Unicode format. Alright, cool. And we're slowly getting through strings, but since strings are immutable, you cannot directly change characters in a string. Not allowed. We already know that. Actually, oh. Does that apply to slices, though? Well, that's a really good question. It's questionable. Cannot assign SI, since V strings are immutable. Output 76. Note that indexing a string normally will produce a U8 byte, not a rune, nor another string. Indexes 2 bytes in the string, not Unicode code points. If you want to convert the U8 to a string, use the .ASCII string, which we've already done that one. It's like right up here. First one, one of the first ones I did. And that just converts into a string. Continuing on. However, you can easily get runes from a string with the runes method, which will produce an array of UTF characters from a string. All right, let's try that out. Let's try print ln and then do a.rune. I think is how it would be formatted. I didn't really look too hard. Yeah, figured that's not it. Let's go back. Oh, wait, so you could take a 6? Like, for example, 6, like that? Let's try that one. .length 7. Maybe I need to specify the dot... let's see what the actual output's saying first. Unknown method or field, string.runes. Oh. Well, this should be it. Me being giga dumb right here. Right, redo that. Hello, and it states it as runes. Which also, when it prints an array, is different from a D-lang array, because in D-lang we use these things, not these things, so... Let me escape from that. Oh god. Elon 2 chloride. The Elon Scrolls 3, bro. It's the next Elder Scrolls game. It'll be powered by Grok. Grokenberg. If you want the code point from a specific string index or other more advanced UTF-8 processing and conversions, refer to VLib encoding UTF-8 module. Both single and double quotes can be used to denote strings. For consistency, VMFT converts double quotes or to single quotes unless a string contains a single quote character. Prepend are for raw strings. Escapes are not handled, so you'll get exactly what you type. Oh, raw strings. I wonder what that is exactly. We'll preserve the 2 characters. Alright, let's go ahead and print ln, and then do r iceberg, and then save that and then run it. Just puts iceberg in there. I have no idea what that did differently. Prints an array of runes. Prints something. And then, unless, I mean, these aren't really different. Anyway. I mean, I guess, oh, maybe if I had, like, something like something like this in there. Like, imagine I had that in there. So it's, yeah. Okay, that's what it does. Prints, raw without printing a, it's this kind of weird one, without print a as string. So it just literally prints out what you type in. So if I did like a /n, I bet that would work too. Like do /n. I wonder if that works. Will that print out correctly? Yup. So it ignores new line characters as well. So that's really nice to see that as a thing. Although I'm not sure where I'd use that. Where on earth is my shit? Alright, strings can be easily converted to integers. String 42. So, oh, that's how we'd convert to an integer. You do, for example, let's do a.int. Or let's do, no. Oh, let's go ahead and circle back a bit. So last episode we were trying to get integers out of it. So let's do, let's go ahead and create another one. No. So import, actually that'd be back. Alright, so in this one, actually we'll make another function. Example underscore int string underscore int. And then it's going to take a string. I like that, actually. It's kind of funny. And it's got to be a function, so of course declare function. And it's all it's going to do is write out the string as an int. So what we're going to do is print ln. Also, we're going to import, no. We could do that, but anyway, we're going to print as a dot string. Or a dot int. And then we're going to take the number 21. So we need to take import core.os, I think is what it was. Let me double check that. Never mind, it's just import os. And then import args, or no, then args of 2 dot int. So that will literally take the second argument. Let's go with 1 because that should be the second one. Now let's go ahead and specify our arguments. So run and then dash dash. Technically you don't even need to do that. You just put 2. Import OS is. Does it need to go at the top then? Damn it, that makes me sad. Anyway, we're on day 2 and we're still working with our import OS. Wow. I like how I can't scroll up all the way. Kate's really doing me good things today. Import OS. This is really like a weird language, honestly. Let's see if it works now. Go back. OS is imported but never used. os.args 1. So then we'll do example underscore string underscore to int. Prints first arg as int. Pretty sure that should work. Yep. So if we specified 22, it will write 22. If we do 24, it will do 24. So I'm getting to the point where I might even be able to make a calculator now. This is like the key feature, taking a string to an int. So that's good that we learned that in types. Let's continue on. Let's see how long string interpolation is and see if I'm going to go through the whole thing today. Probably not. There's a lot of examples to cover there. But we'll do that in day 3. Tomorrow will be day 3. Yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow. Probably, what is tomorrow? Friday? And the day after Friday is Saturday, which means that on Saturday, we can do the Arch Linux speedrun. So I'll see you all then. Anyway, I think I'm going to end today's episode here because we've gotten pretty far today in the string section. So this is a good example of strings and how to use them. So, yeah. If you all enjoyed today's episode, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next